welcome back to Andertons TV. What started off with the lovely people at Exotic sending us this new pedal. The OG, I think the OG of that sort of always-on boost pedal thing was the original Exotic EP Boost.
The little one.
The tiny one. They've sold tens of thousands of those. Anyway, for 2026, they have released a volume pedal in their sort of 3/4 size wire enclosure, which is great. With, I've never seen this done before, this little kind of like, kick the end bit here and it kicks the boost in.
It's
so
clever,
it's
man.
always
like
a volume pedal, regardless, and then you just kick the boost on, and then you've got some controls on the side for boost.
Yeah, really cool.
That on its own was potentially going to be a slightly boring video.
Yeah.
And another video idea that we've had several requests for, which is if I'm a digital user, Quad Cortex, Vailton, Kemper, Tone Master, blah, blah, blah. If I plug my guitar into an analog style boosty kind of something pedal before I go into the QC, does it sound better? Does it give me sort of feel upgrade?
I don't know, but what I noticed is that when I click that, it said like and subscribe down here, please. Because this year we're going to hit 200. We still give stuff away, don't we? Every 10,000
Yes, we do.
subscribers.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so look, we got a dual purpose video here. We're going to plug this in and use it into the QC rather than into a regular amplifier. But just to satisfy you guys asking and also asking, does it make a difference? We've got a selection of boost pedals from the cheapest one down at sort of 40 quid with a Spark through to a slightly more expensive Earthquaker Arrows through to some really expensive boost pedals, even a Dane pedal with a boost and an overdrive.
Because we have got in here a capture of the overdrive of the Dane to see if it actually, is it worth having overdrive pedals, or can you just have them in the thing? Do you even need,
Well, this is what I've done. So I've set up this Fender Deluxe Clean Sound. So there's the amp that we're using, US Deluxe 64 Vintage. Any QC owner will have that in there because it's part of the presets.
Yes, they will.
This just puts a clean boost on using the Exotic Z boost. This puts a little blues breaker thing, again with almost all the gain taken out. And this brings in the capture of the Dane, and we'll compare that. And I guess this is it, right? Can you hear the difference? Does it make a difference using an analog pedal?
Does it feel any different?
Does it? Yeah, feels a huge thing.
Feels a huge thing.
Or actually, does using the boost pedal in the QC work better than using an external boost pedal? Who knows? So look, here's our basic sound.
And can I just mention one thing that all of these things need is volume in the room. We've got some really nice Genelec speakers, but if you're not playing it slightly louder, it just doesn't.
It goes very sterile to okay.
It's all right.
Anyway, let's put our first pedal on. You'll notice that the gain is low because I'm not trying to introduce gain here, just something. Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi.
Something. Definitely introduces something.
It does give it a bit of low end and some top end, and it makes it sort of nicer to play.
Does the same thing happen if I basically just put a boost on from within here? Might need a bit more something, a teeny bit more.
There's little switches you turn them and it's so clever.
Well, ever since I've had my own little QC Mini, I've become quite familiar with using these, and I have to say it's easier than I thought it was.
Yeah, exactly. Even
okay, so here's a boost built in.
Without, right? I feel like it's a bit more low end in it. I mean, it's very close, but I feel like that just adds some low end that you don't get in here, which is really nice.
I've got the low end dialed in quite heavily.
Dial it in a bit more.
Well, I'm not. I think that would suggest maybe this is picking up something that this just. Well, I'll dial it all in. Here we go. So we're kind of up to now.
Yeah.
8 out of 10 for bass.
8 out of 10.
Okay, let's
6 out of 7.
Let's turn that off and go back to this one.
There's still something with that, isn't there?
It's a different kind of bass, isn't it?
There's also some top end. It's minimal. It feels a bit nicer to play into that pedal, to be honest. It just maybe it's the sound that is creating something in my mind that makes me want to. It's a bit more feely, touchy-feely. Maybe it's placebo.
Yeah.
Maybe she's born with it.
Interestingly, if when we get to the end of this, the general consensus is it adds a grain of salt of goodness.
Yeah, salt is always good in food, man.
The Spark at 40 quid or whatever it is could well be the one to do, because if all you're getting is like a grain, it might not be worth spending £200 or £300 on a boost pedal, but 40 quid maybe it is, and
but
it's super small. You might do. Just to give you an idea, this is the blues breaker-y kind of.
Right, so here's the clean, just clean. Bluesy. That
you can hear
good.
the gain coming in now, which I was kind of didn't really want.
Oh, you didn't want any gain on it?
Not really. It's a nice boost.
It's lovely. That's much brighter, isn't it?
We're now into a subjective sense of like, do you like the sound of one or the other? Can you comment on the feel?
You said scene. Which one is that? I'm this. I tell you, you have to have really sharp fingers like that. Feel-wise, that's the Spark. I like the low end in that, but I like the low end in here. Feel-wise, there's not much.
If I remember rightly, the bigger Spark, which isn't that much more expensive, has got EQ on it as well.
EQ.
So, okay, we're moving up now.
Arrows.
I was on the Andertons website earlier. You can pick one of 111 different boost pedals listed on our website. So this is by no means an extensive comparison of boost pedals, but what we tried to do was just go cheap, middle, expensive, just to see. Right.
That's interesting. It's got like so you can actually turn it down.
It's almost like a less mode,
which I really like. So here's
Agreed.
If you have an amp at home and you don't have a master volume on it, you buy one of those and then you turn it down.
Yeah. If it's in the effects loop, you can put it in the effects loop. That's really effective.
You turn it down.
So does that?
It takes out low end, doesn't it?
This feels a much flatter EQ response than
much
this one.
flatter.
So it is just level.
That's more EP boost.
Yes, like bass and treble, isn't it?
Bass and treble. I think this is more for a driven amp. It's more to have into a driven amp. You know what I'm saying?
This isn't really having the effect, is it, that we were hoping? So this is almost just, I can have it louder or quieter, but I'm not getting a fatter thing.
That's almost like a mid boost.
So clean.
It's really MIDI, isn't it?
Yeah, is that if I... You're right, it does take bass away as well, doesn't it?
It pushed the mid up. It's like a tube screamer that without overdrive on it.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what it is?
Is that actually what it is? Maybe it is.
Well, maybe that's what it is.
Right.
But who knows? We don't know.
Okay, so there we are. That's not really doing what we hoped it would do.
Shall we try something else?
Hey, you might notice we've added a couple pedals in here. I was kind of thinking that Arrows would be our sort of mid-price contender, but as it isn't really doing that, I've grabbed a couple of other pedals that are similar money. So Duchess, and why not? Let's have a listen to the OG, the EP Boost. So that's essentially what's in here, but without any EQ or anything like that. Doesn't, if I remember rightly, if you go inside this, hasn't it got some dip switches?
Yeah, it says underneath it, or on the side. It says it's got this one has got the same, and I think it's set under here. There you go.
I see. Okay, right. Well, anyway, so Duchess I use on my board, and again, it does have some gain. It can introduce some gain, so we'll keep this down. But the main thing I wanted to use it for was the EQ. So if I wanted a bit more, like a scoopy thing, let's see.
I prefer what's in it.
Do you know what? I'm really.
No offense to.
No, but I'm really leaning towards this idea of.
What's the point in having pedals? It's all in there.
Everything's in here,
and it doesn't make a feel different. So
I guess it can't do, right? Because even if coming out of here, the feel is different. It's still going in here before you hear it,
and then zeros.
So
yeah, ones
how's
and zeros.
It going to really do that unless you had some sort of super complicated splitter thing where you, I don't know. Let's try the EP Boost.
Let's do that.
EP Boost is a super duper OG pedal, and obviously it is what is inside that expression pedal that we're going to hear shortly.
No, yeah, but you've got on this side here you've got gain and volume, and so there's other things, so it's a bit more complicated.
So
but
here we
it's on, dude. I prefer that now.
The Spark and the EP Boost are definitely adding a bit of a bass end in that isn't there.
Much more top end in that than that. I prefer that because it doesn't have that
very bright,
really brighty top end. And of course, in my humble opinion, lots of digital stuff, most digital stuff, has got this top end that is not super great.
Yeah, I mean, and actually,
but
in all
just dialed that back.
right? I was using the low pass filter even on there to just start to take some of it out.
Absolutely.
It's so unnatural if you leave it all in.
That's funny because John would put on more. He likes more top end. It's weird, isn't it? How maybe it's just we're older. I don't know.
I suppose I'm so used to hearing
something low end
speakers as opposed to studio monitors, and I guess if he's used to hearing the top end, he'll want it in. And if I'm not, then
it's the guitar players and the music you like as well. I think. You know.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that sounds wonderful. To be honest, that sounds wonderful too.
Look the other way and tell me which is. So here's neither.
Is that the EP?
No. They're so similar.
I'm just listening for low end in it, but they're so similar. And that's why don't spend the money on it. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of leaning towards... I mean, 1,000,000%. If you've got a regular guitar amplifier, I
100.
guarantee you
it's going to make that
plugging
sound
this in first makes it sound better. But I think what we're finding here is whereas, and in fairness, I haven't used this with solid state amps much, but with valve amplifiers, there's something about hitting that first valve with a bit more that just excites things. And I'm not sure that
this doesn't do that.
Well, it does if you
but it does it inside it
internally, doesn't it? But like, it doesn't really do it if you do it externally. Anyway, look, that's that. Yeah, I don't like doing videos where the end of it is please don't buy anything. But it feels like we're leaning that way.
But people will like that.
By the way, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I've got a valve amp on at home. And very recently, the lovely people at Neural said, take a QC Mini home and I've literally just used that as a replacement pedal board. So I've not gone anywhere near the amp models or the speaker emulations or anything like that. I'm just using it.
Are you using the effects loop?
Not yet, bizarrely. I've only picked, and this will make you laugh. Literally, I went to set it up 4-cable method and realised I didn't have 4 cables at home. So I just literally plugged the guitar in, came out the other side and put some reverb and delay on, used the looper, found a little overdrive pedal that I liked. And again, interestingly, these overdrive pedals, I think you have to set them up differently to normal. Like you can have too much reverb, too much gain. Yeah. But like I think I've got like a Zen Drive copy or something like that. And I've just dialed the gain back and it sounds great, but into a valve amplifier. So it's almost... It's almost the opposite of this.
It's also an overdrive pedal you would normally use with your amplifier doesn't sound the same from here. If you go, I'm going to have the day into it.
But when I mean the opposite, like instead of going analog into digital, I'm sort of going digital into analog. And as long as the last thing you hear is the analog,
but this is all. There's chips in here anyway as well.
Not digital though.
No,
there's no DSP processing.
No, but it still goes chips and
chips and beans and fish.
And chips. So this is a UA 610, so 610. So there's a channel strip from Universal Audio. Okay. So that's what that.
Might be my favourite.
Yeah,
might be my favourite one so far.
And this has got drive in as well. This is run flat now, right?
Oh, and you're saying we're in its EQ mode. We're in the EQ mode. Than drive mode.
Yeah, we're in the EQ mode rather than a drive mode. And you run it all at 12 o'clock, right? So there's your drive. Oh, what's in the middle there? Oh, nothing. So there's drive. And that's funny how I've used that in my amp, and it sounds amazing to push a front end of a tube amp just to give it a little bit more. If you got hair on the amp already, it pushes it a little bit more. Into this, it just sounds granular. You know what I mean? It's like you spill sugar on the table, and it's just granular. But you know what I mean? That's kind of how I'm looking at it. That's how it would sound.
Yeah.
It's not smooth.
I'm feeling like once you're in the QC ecosystem, then you've got all your pedals, right? Why do you need extra ones? I mean, what we're not using the effects loop. I don't know whether that would have a...
I doubt it very much.
It shouldn't do, should it? Anyway, look. Yeah. So I did like this,
that
though.
Sounds good,
here's
man.
without...
You need new strings on this guitar, by the way.
Feel-wise, though, is it doing anything?
As soon as something sounds better, it feels nicer to play. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why playing into an amp loud is nice. Not too loud.
In fairness, in my office at work, I've got the Vailton GP200, which is obviously a way more affordable version of this, and I do use a Thorpe Fat General.
No, Peacekeeper.
Peacekeeper, sorry, you're right. Peacekeeper, which is essentially just like a very low gain drive fattening kind of pedal, and I think it improves everything. But then I don't know if that's just
maybe this isn't the. Maybe you need something like
the Vailton's a lot cheaper, isn't it? I mean, the stupid thing is the Vailton Peacekeeper I think is more expensive than the whole Vailton unit. So I don't know why would anybody go and spend more on a single pedal to plug into than a relatively cheap.
Exactly. But people do that. People are crazy, man. Okay, they do crazy things out there, bro.
Look that way again. I like these blindfoldy things. You tell me which is which, all right?
that the QC?
Yes. Now, why was that different to the last
Because I remember
one?
it from last time.
Oh, I see. So you're hearing its audio EQ
I'm hearing the EQ
if you
signature
like.
and also how it is on the low end.
I'm telling you now, if you're listening on your phone, you're not hearing any difference at all here. But if you've got some decent speakers or
I
headphones,
definitely,
you might
there's a...
So are you saying this is your favourite one so far?
No, that's what you're saying.
Okay.
This is my favourite one so far.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I mean, maybe the EP Boost. Just try the
All right,
29.
we'll try the Una.
The Una.
Una. So the Una is a buffer and like a send and return, and it's got some preset kind of tonal things, hasn't it?
But the really cool thing about this is if you have it in you have fuzz pedals on your board, put them in the effects loop with that.
Yeah, and then it effectively switches the buffer off before you use the effects loop, which is before you use the fuzz.
You know what you're saying.
I think that was its main selling point, was if you had a fuzz, this was a great pedal to have.
Also, that it just buffers it so beautifully.
H is harmonic lift.
Harmonic lift.
B is brilliance, so that
Brilliance.
And L is low.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I run it on my board.
I like that. I think if you're in the 1% tone chasing club, I could see people going, I might have that.
Yeah. Just as a beginning.
It does seem to do, again, how much of this is psychosomatic, I don't know. It does lift. What's clever about this is it's not audibly adding much level. It is just going, here's your sound, a weeny bit nicer.
And it works really well with other pedals, which is good.
That's the point of that, isn't it? The more pedals you have, the more of a difference it makes.
Right. If you didn't hear that from Oz is pointing out the fact that obviously the idea of this is predominantly the buffer. So if you have several pedals like that, and all of a sudden you're going, oh, and lots of cable and all that kind of stuff, that's where this really comes into its own. So maybe not exactly like we've got here. Can I just, again, here's the internal. Little bit more clarity and definition. Clarity. That's the Una from 29. Right. Do you want to do the Dane and then we'll leave the?
I want to check the overdrive because that's got a boost as well, so we can see what it does to. We can see what it does to this overdrive, and then we can see what the boost does to that overdrive in there, right?
Ah, I see. Okay, so we're now sort of boosting drive rather than.
We're doing a drive.
So, in case you're not familiar, that's the boost side, that's the drive side, and they do work independently and together. And
it's got different clips. So it's got the classic, like a normal, and then it's got a germanium boost on the other side.
Let's see what happens here then.
Dig in the lows.
Now, this is a slight side thing. This button here will bring in a capture of the Dane.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, here's the Dane. So.
Which is weird because it doesn't. Sound the same, man.
Although I think what I kind of agree with you.
It doesn't.
That setting on that pedal into a valve amplifier sounds quite different.
So different
into here, doesn't it?
That's what I mean when you're going through those. And you go, oh, I want a clon. I can't afford a clon, so I'm going to use the clon thing. And you go, that doesn't sound like it does when I'm watching a video where somebody's using it into an amp. Because it isn't going into an amp. It isn't organically affecting power tubes and valves and all sorts of stuff and cables and everything. It's imitating that, but in a digital way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just...
But as you can see, this plugged into this versus the capture of this sounds pretty much the same.
Exactly.
There might be a tiny bit more brightness on that one.
But you know what? I really like the boost on that.
Yeah, the boost was good on this, wasn't it?
So Dana's got a great boost.
We were going, what does boost into the... versus...
Maybe it's in the speakers as well. It doesn't come out the same as it would.
I prefer that though. I preferred the boost into the Dane's drive than I did the boost into the capture drive.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a rabbit hole.
Where is this video going? Should we just do this one?
Let's do the last one, because this is interesting, and I think that is going to go on my board, because we were doing a session Clang with Robbie Macintosh, which is one of the best guitar players in the world. He's
definitely
flipping amazing, and he uses a volume pedal after all his drives and before delays and reverbs and stuff, so you can do those swells. And I used to use a volume pedal, and I used to use it a lot, but I'm going to do it again.
Do you know?
It inspires me.
You can take this as either a compliment or a slur.
A slur.
In my time of making YouTube videos, you are the most seasoned professional guitar player that I've ever really spent any length of time with. So in my mind, I've always had you as a 10, like as in that's how good you need to be to do that stuff. And then after we did Robbie, I realised he's a 10 and you're a 9.
But that's it. And I'll take that. I might be an 8 compared to him. Because honestly, that man is incredible. It was
insane watching him just turn up and just slay anything you wanted him to do.
Yeah. But that's what I aspire to be, you know. I aspire to be like him, or...
I thought I was a 4, by the way. Now I realise I'm a 1.5.
What's the...
I'm in the negatives.
But no,
like Tim Pierce, right? Tim Pierce and those kind of guys that are in the late 50s or early 60s or whatever, that's been around and done... He's done so much more. What's it say? 15,000... albums, I think the Tim Pierce played on or something. He was trying to work it out how many songs he's done, and you can't get that level of.
Yeah. I think what I love the most as well
Robbie's
is
the
that
same, man.
Robbie comes down
and his sound
is like is in a normal car in like his dad jumper. He did bring a few guitars with him, didn't he? But he was just like he bought a little pedal board and then was like, "What amp do you want me to use?"
Yeah, he had an amp in the car, and he just used my amp.
And it was just like. He chats like, what you been doing, cup of tea, walk the dogs this morning, all like everything.
Everyone's chatting to everyone.
And then it's like, right, go, okay, go, boom. One, maybe 2 takes later, he's just like, oh my God, it's just like, just perfect.
But that is what you
enough
aspire
blowing
to be.
smoke up Robbie's bottom.
42 minutes.
Yes, come on.
42 minutes.
Let's see what this sounds like. Right, so as a straight volume pedal, it's obviously a volume pedal. Nice and smooth. I tell you what's nice. You use some volume pedals. You can feel that slightly crispy pot in there, can't you? Like that.
Crispy pot.
Not in here. This is great. Anyway, let's pump the old boost in. It's got the fatness.
Yeah, it's lovely. Without being too top-ended, which I think most of the other ones got that top end.
It's when as soon as you turn it off, you go, oh no, I don't like it anymore. You have, I just want to like,
Yeah.
Here's the kicker though. Very similar, man.
I think the boost is better. I think it's got much more sound in it. It's got more top end.
Yeah.
Isn't that, I mean, we're not even in the 1% club now, we're in the 0.1% club. But I boosted the top end on here.
Yeah, and then
it becomes a bit like.
Yeah, it's
whereas
got that
that's just
digital.
got a lovely top end. Oh my God, this is the most. That pedal show video we've ever done.
Cork sniffing.
It is the maximum cork sniff.
This is TBS.
Right.
I think I love this.
Yeah.
And I would love to try the wah pedal because I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, it's a good wah.
But these ones, stick them up here.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Just because.
Because then you could get it on.
Because then you can get
slightly
two of
near
them
on the
next
board.
to the board.
This is genius,
That's
though,
good,
isn't
it? Unless you accidentally kick it.
You'd have to be careful about where you put it on your board for sure. But
But that's such a good idea.
I tell you what, and again, this is one of my things that I've never really enjoyed about using a wah pedal is I don't really like the toe press to sort of. It always feels like an excessive amount of like that. Bloody brilliant!
I think that is
right?
one. Or you can get one of those. The bass bar kicks in automatically.
Yeah, that's true.
And Dunlop does one where it just kicks in when you do it and you release it, kicks off. But it's got a weird quack and stuff.
Well done if you've made it to the end of this video.
I think that's my favourite.
What's the? Yeah, I mean,
this boost I think sounds so good in anything.
I did like that one.
I have to say that.
Obviously,
because it is mine.
That's the OG. No, I did. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, the only one I think that just didn't do what I thought it was going to do was that one.
Yeah. There is a boost version of the Dane called Heavy Water, by the way, so it's just the boost side of it.
So you could do.
So you could
go
have
down
that if you don't.
Obviously,
want
what you need with your QC is all of these. You need the Una into the DCX into this with this one after it as well, just for your extra.
And then this in the effects loop.
What a digital emulation of a buffer to sort out your digital pedals.
But a cool thing as well, isn't that you can actually the Dane is actually a capture of that pedal. So you can capture your favorite pedals, buy the pedal, capture it, stick it in here.
So are you basically saying that if we captured the EP boost, that's?
I don't know if you can capture a boost. I don't know. That's up to you.
Probably.
Comment
yeah,
in the comment
that's
section
what
below.
right from the opening 30 seconds of this video, someone's been going, why don't you just capture the one that you
boost?
like
Yeah.
then? Pass. Anyway, that's enough. Well done for getting to the end. Thanks you for watching.
Thanks you.
And thanks
Like
you.
and
We'll see you next
subscribe.
time. Au revoir.